Hello subscribers, and welcome back to this, the next in the series for GCSE economists and anyone really looking to refresh their knowledge. And today we're looking at equilibrium. So in my previous two videos I have considered the demand curve sloping downwards from left to right. You'll remember that inverse relationship. In one of my other videos, I considered the supply curve sloping upwards from left to right, so a positive relationship going on there. And so now what we must do, ladies and gentlemen, is we must bring these two curves together in order to determine what we refer to in economics as the equilibrium price and quantity demanded and supplied. And equilibrium, of course, for those of you, the scientists among you, probably know that means some sort of balance, to be in equilibrium. And so we're looking for the point at which demand is equal to supply. So this is very straightforward, ladies and gentlemen. We simply transfer a demand curve to a new diagram. We transfer a supply curve to a new diagram. Sometimes you might have more than one demand and supply curve on a diagram at the one time. And so we tend to label these as S1 and D1 just so that we can distinguish one from the other and know where our starting point is and where our finish point is. But I hope that you can see here it's fairly obvious that the point at which demand equals supply, the X factor, ladies and gentlemen, is this point here where they intersect. And so we simply highlight those 2 points. We call that P star and Q star, and there we have the equilibrium. So that determines the price, and it also determines the quantity demanded and supplied. Look at the difference there, ladies and gentlemen. On my demand curve diagram I have quantity demanded. On my supply curve diagram I have quantity supplied. But when I'm talking about equilibrium, I bring both onto the one diagram and I call this quantity demanded and supplied. And this is the equilibrium point. And that determines, ladies and gentlemen, what we call in economics, that is determining what's known as the market or the equilibrium price. So this goes on for this process, should I say, rather, this interaction of demand and supply happens all the time for all the goods and services that we're buying. And indeed, ladies and gentlemen, it's interesting at the moment, in the midst of this COVID crisis, that these words demand and supply, they've been so often used in the media and in the press lately, whether it's to do with not enough supply of goods on our supermarket shelves, whether it's to do more recently with not enough supply of COVID-19 tests and testing equipment and so on and so forth. So these words are mentioned a lot at the moment. So demand and supply really has been kind of pushed to the fore by the coronavirus pandemic, this notion of demand and supply. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that's been of use, and I shall leave it there for now. Bye for now.